Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back to 25 Days of Design. Yay! I get my sound effects today. Anyway, I am Julia Kelleher. I am so excited that you're here. We are finishing up our second week of the 25 Days of Design. And today we're going to talk all about session design and why it's so important and how to think through session design when you're about to shoot, especially for the product that your client is going to be purchasing. So, Beth is back there cleaning up my mess. This place looks like a hurricane went off lately. It's just a lot of drama. Anyway, for just on a personal note, those of you who have been worried about us, we're moving. So we're moving into a new house. The new house isn't done yet, as you all know. But then one of the issues is we had our stuff packed in a construction trailer because my husband's a contractor. So we have a bunch of construction trailers, and one of those trailers got stolen. So we finally found the trailer yesterday. The police called us, and has been found, and so that kind of derailed our day. And we were forced to go out in the middle of the woods where the trailer had been abandoned and basically ransacked with everything gone through it. So we had to pick through everything. So it's been a kind of an emotional week, but all is good. And the beautiful thing is that my pictures, my kids' schoolwork, drawings from the past few years, all my Christmas ornaments, my mother's crystal stemware, and my mother's sheet music have all been found unharmed. So that was a really, really good thing. So thank you, everyone, for your positive messages and your prayers and your support for us to find it. We manifested it, baby. We found it. So that's good. Now we just have to manifest whoever did this, karma comes back to bite them in the booties. So maybe someday that'll happen. Anyway, some people are mean. Today, we're going to talk all about, Beth is over there giggling at me. We're going to talk all about session design. And I want to show you some sessions and walk you through my thought process of why I shot them the way I did and what product we wound up shooting for. So let's go ahead and share my screen right there. Beautiful. Okay, and we will hop onto my desktop here. You should be able to see my Pro Select. That's a good thing, right? Showing Pro Select is always a good thing. And let me close up some other windows here so I can see what's going on. I don't want to close reactions and comments because I would love to hear what you guys have to say about things, but I do want to close stuff up so that I can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, so this was a 1-year session, and there's a lot of images here. I'm not showing you the cake smash session part of the session because it didn't really have anything to do with the product we were shooting. Cake smashes are kind of like a secondary thing for me. When I do baby plan sessions, we're usually designing a product. So with this one, this is, oh my God, he's so cute. This is Little Brooks. He is just, priceless. And I shot the session knowing full well that these were going to be put on the wall together. So I shot most of the entire session in high key. We did go into a little bit of gray here at the bottom, but I really wanted to be able to take these images and put them on the wall together. And that's exactly what we ended up doing. The client ended up ordering a canvas from me, and then the 2 smaller prints are coming. But for now, this is kind of what the end result was of the session. So when you're designing a session, I want you to think about a space and where images will go in that space. This was designed to be a canvas and 2 frame prints. But if these backgrounds were so different from one another, then the series itself would have looked disjointed and tough to compose. And remember, we talked about arranging frames yesterday or the day before yesterday. And so we're going to take that lesson and kind of combine it with this one in terms of, okay, you get your frames coordinated and how you want those on the wall. Well, now get the images coordinated. So when I'm shooting a session and I know a client is going for a wall series of some kind like this, to me, it's really, really, really important that we shoot the images so that they all coordinate. And these coordinate fairly well. The other thing you want to look for is expression. So I shoot my images. I'm just going to kind of scroll through these, and some of the things are lit really well and others are not. So you just have to kind of forgive me. It's a true session. I wanted expression. So like this one, the light is not on his face, but man, we've got some cute expression. So I keep those kinds of things in the gallery because they create an incredible wall series. Okay. But yeah, look for expression when you're culling your images and look for variety, while at the same time keeping things in that same color family and same, like all these images could go well on the wall together. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, like this one and the one previous, both kind of look really similar as far as expression goes. But here you can see his little fat rolls, and here you can see his feet a little bit more, and the color tonality is a little bit more neutral. I know, isn't he just the cutest thing ever? I know, right? Oh, that face. Yes, we keep sad faces. I do, because every child makes them, and I want my clients to remember those days as well as others. Even the little shy, kind of unhappy faces to me are also good faces to hang on to. Of course, we do the outfit changes, but notice how the session is consistent with the background pretty much throughout. And to me, that's important because, again, of wall imagery. So just to scroll through some of these. By the way, these blocks are amazing for children of this age because it keeps them occupied and in one place. I'm sure you guys all know what it's like to run after a 1-year-old. And of course, they love to put everything in their mouth. Again, expression is everything. Okay? So any one of these could go on a wall series in a set of 3, 4, 5. We could do 4 or 5 face shots. There's lots of different variety to be able to create a wall gallery from. And then, of course, it's just a matter of what the client is after. And don't be afraid to show images that don't have, full, I mean, who doesn't love baby dimples and baby butt fat? I mean, that's the best. Again, now we do get into a slightly different background at this point, but this was for a different area of her home. So be thinking about that, that not everything has to be the same, and you should plan for the spaces that you intend to fill. Okay. Another session I want to show you is for, let's look at this album session. Okay, so this was a newborn session, and you can see the images all coordinate fairly well. When I'm designing a session, I am thinking about color. This family is very into muted fall tones, mustards, greens. This little girl's name is Sage, so we wanted to make sure and bring in some sages. So of course I added those purple tones because they, on the color wheel, complement the greens. And then the mustard or caramel brown color was kind of used as our neutral base. So when I'm creating a color scheme, I will typically choose, if the client wants a specific color, in this instance, sage, which is a green, which isn't the girliest color in the world, right? And then we have a base color, so a base neutral of some kind. So I chose this caramel color and then a cream tone, cream being in her skin and in the background, okay? And then we chose this purple tone to kind of a dark lilac to complement the green. So I have, and then of course, the caramel color has a yellowish mustard tone to it. And so that complements super well between the purple, the green, and the mustard. They're all very triadic on the color wheel. So, and that's why those colors were picked. So you could put, even though we do have some purple and some green and some yellow, we could combine those on a gallery wall together and they would work. Now, what the client did do was do a custom book. So we started initial design on the album. I'll scroll through the initial design. So this was a custom album. And then we later went through and added text and quotes and letters to, actually it was song lyrics and footprints. But you can see now this one we ended up switching because obviously I don't want the seam to go right through her head. So we ended up switching that. I hope we did in the final. We haven't ordered it yet. We're about to. But I will change that if we haven't. You know how those mistakes come. So yeah, so this is just a scroll through of the book or album. But notice how every single image coordinates with the others. So if I step back and look at the book as a whole, it looks like it was all designed for one piece. Now, if I go into the final rendition of the book, is this it? No, this is it. Hang on one second here. This is the final rendition of the book. We ended. The mother wanted sage green, so we ended up going with that. We put the baby's footprints in actual size, and then the song lyrics begin. So I will often have parents pick songs, and that mean something to them, and then we can incorporate that if they don't want to incorporate a letter of some kind. But yeah, so that's what we ended up. And I kept this one very simple. This family is very clean and simple. I have more complicated albums, but this one they just wanted the lyrics and they didn't want any fancy fonts. But again, if you look at the whole entire session and the album, everything coordinates. So when you are doing your images in your session, be planning. So think about your colors. I always start with if a client wants a specific neutral, like a gray, a cool neutral or a warm neutral, a gray or a brown or a cream, I will pick the base color. And then from there, we will add an accent color, whether that be a green or a purple, as in this session, or whatever. I will take you to another session here for a whole different look. This family wanted a gray base and then blue and purple. So more of a male color scheme for a female, but it worked. They are doing an album as well, and we are just in the initial design phase of this album. But again, you can see all the images coordinate and could go on a wall together if they needed to. So be careful that you don't bounce around in color. Pre-plan this in your head. Thanks for all the nice comments, you guys. This is awesome. I love it. Patty said, gorgeous photos. Thank you. Jerry said, sweet. Thank you. Amanda gave her a little smiley face. I love that. And Courtney, these are so cute. Thank you so much, Courtney. I appreciate that. It's fun to be able to put your comments on everything. But anyway, so yeah, so when you're designing a session, think through your color scheme, whether it be just a family session that you're going to be doing outfits for, or if you end up doing a session where it's a baby and you're picking a neutral and then working from there. Patty Looney asks a question. She's asking, do most parents want the baby wrapped or without? Honestly, Patty, I don't really give them much of a choice. I tell them that it's all baby dependent, and I typically don't do full naked images unless they are absolutely requested. Why? Because it's hard to do. I mean, it requires a very sleepy baby. It requires a warm environment and room, and I can't stand sweating. I just don't like to be in a hot environment that you need. And my space is so big and cavernous that it's hard to heat the place if we do need to have babies naked. Now, that doesn't mean I don't shoot babies naked, but I prefer to do kind of this type of shot where baby's kind of, she's still in a diaper, believe it or not, in there. She's not fully naked. And same with this one here. There's actually, you can kind of see it. We got to edit that out. There's a little diaper in there. So, yeah, I mean, if they truly want a naked session, I will. So, let's see. We have a name here that I can't pronounce. I'm so sorry, but says your sessions collections are just amazing. So thank you so much. And Patty responded, good reasons. Thank you, Patty. So yeah, I mean, and then the nice thing is too, is that I don't have to do laundry as much because I'm not dealing with soiled backgrounds and things like that. So yeah. All right, you guys. So short live today. I just wanted you to think through very clearly. She said, sorry, it's me. I had to broadcast. No worries. That's okay. It's Eva. I love that. Is it Russian, Eva? Because it looks like it's like Eastern Europe or Russian or Polish or some neat language like that. So anyway, yes. So the goal today is to have you think through in advance of your sessions. So when I say that, I mean think through your color matching and coordination. Where's my color wheel? Did I put it back? I must have put it back. A few days ago, I showed you guys a color wheel, and I think that's an important thing and a tool to look at. when you're deciding on color. So if you take your neutral as your base and then you add another neutral like a cream or a brown, and then from there add an accent color, that's what really makes successful sessions. When you try to jump all over the place with lots of different colors, things are going to end up disjointed, and then clients won't really know what to do with it, and they get very overwhelmed. So keep things nice and simple, keep things coordinated, and think about your color and your texture. And remember, earlier this week, we were talking about tone, color, texture, contrast, and tone. And if things are too contrasty in an image, it's going to draw your eye away from the subject as well. So be careful, be very careful for the set design you have not to compete with the images, but then the overall session, or with the subject, I mean, but then the overall session has to work so that those images could go together either in a book or an album or on the wall. And when you start thinking about this stuff in advance, then it becomes super simple to do products for your client. So Eva says this is her first time seeing her live. I'm Bulgarian. Oh, very cool. I love that. Let's see. Sayantan says, just beautiful. These pictures are so cute and adorable. Your works are always so inspiring. Love you so much from India. Thank you, Sayantan. I hope I'm saying that right. Courtney, I just got my color wheel in the mail yesterday. Woohoo! She needs a little bit of applause for that one. Yay, Courtney! Cheesy. Hey, it gets your attention, right? Eva says, I love your 25 days of design, learning so much on topics. They are brilliant. Yes, we love that. Thank you so much, Eva. Cherry has a question. Cherry asks, how long does it take for you to prepare an album? Very good question. Well, Cherry, it all depends on the type of album. It can take as quick as 30 seconds up to about 15 minutes. I'm going to show you this. You're going to probably be a little bit shocked and surprised, but it's all because of Pro Select. So I will go ahead and do a brief kind of show you how this works. So I'm going to start a new book. So I am in Pro Select now, and I am in the books module of Pro Select. This is one of those places where you have to have the pro version to be able to do it. But say, for example, I wanted to do, oh gosh, let's just do a simple 20-page album with a single page template. So one image per page. So I'm going to pick my book design. So for example, I will use a 10 by 8 book design. I can select my images. So say, for example, I'm just going to select several images. So we'll just select, maybe they've narrowed it down, right? So we'll select these. I just drag them into the template down here, and Pro Select will auto-populate the album for me in the correct dimensions. So there we go. Then I can just apply a simple style, like a traditional mat, and it will apply it to all my mats. And voila, now I have an album that has double spreads, and the images are in there and designed. So yeah, it doesn't take very long at all. In Pro Select, you just have to have the template and then have picked your images. And then also from there, you can, move things around. So I can like move this over here if I want, or perhaps I want this image to be with this one and I don't want this anymore. So I'll put it in the trash, design things to look good. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's super easy. And then of course you just send this album to production in Pro Select, and it will actually tell Photoshop to open and create the pages for you in the exact layout, just like an action. So it literally takes about 30 seconds. So this is why album design is so easy for us in our studio, and why it takes such a short time, and it's easy to export. And so typically, if I'm just doing an album like this, so for example, I will show you guys a very similar album to that. So for example, this album here is an album in my studio, and it has just the simple pages with the template, just like I showed you in Pro Select, one image per page. So this takes us about 10 minutes in Pro Select to design, and it takes about 2 minutes for Photoshop to make it using Pro Select. So I have it uploaded to the lab maybe 20 minutes after the client has left the ordering appointment, and so it'll arrive to me from my lab a few days later. So these albums are super easy. The ones I just showed you which are, more of a custom album with the text and everything. They take a little bit longer because you've got to add the text and stuff in Photoshop. But yeah, it's way faster in that regard. Oh, look, here's my husband. He's coming over for lunch. Hi, honey. So Eva says 15 minutes. I would do a whole album for 10 days. No, must get more efficient. Lorena asks, what vendor do you use for albums? I use mainly Miller's right this second. However, I am examining the Graphy line. I absolutely love Graphy albums, and we are going to be moving over and switching to mainly Graphy albums here in the next 30 days. And a lot of that is because I've been doing all this research. And, with our 5 days to a perfected product line challenge coming up, I'm going to be doing the same challenge with you guys in terms of developing my album line. So I will have sign up for the Perfected Product Line Challenge next week. So be sure and tune into the Facebook group so you can see that and sign up for it. So you'll get the emails and all the notifications for the lives and the worksheets, etc., and all that. Okay? So good question, Lorena. You're welcome, Cherry. Cherry said thank you. Eva says, do you print your albums with Graphy now or Miller's? I just answered that. No worries. Megan says, that's awesome. Thank you. Yes, Courtney answered for me. Eva says, everything you create is an art piece worth a museum. Thank you so much, Eva. That is really kind of you, and that made my whole week. I appreciate it. Yes, she corrected museum display piece. I know exactly what you're talking about. Thank you. Okay, guys. Well, clearly my wonderful husband is here. Wave, honey. You're on camera. Hi. We're going to have lunch together, and I thank you guys so much. Remember to design for the products that you are producing for your client. When you think through in advance your session, rather than just kind of willy-nillying it through, you will be able to design products and pieces so much easier and better in your studio and make your clients that much happier, okay? Patty says, love that challenge coming. I'm so happy for you. So excited to see what you do, says Courtney. Thanks, Courtney. Love to everyone. I hope you have a great weekend and be back here Monday for more 25 days of design. And don't forget, next week, sign up for the 5 days to a perfected product line challenge. Thank you for all your comments and your kind words. And Sayan10 said I pronounced the name correctly. So you're welcome. Have a great weekend, Megan. Thanks, Terry. Bye-bye, everyone. Good luck, and we'll see you on Monday. Mwah. Bye-bye.